Bună ziua și bine ați venit la lecția 10 de limba engleză pentru clasele 7-8. Înainte de a începe lecția, vă rog să aveți răbdare, dispoziție și timpul necesar pentru a participa la întregul curs. Nu durează foarte mult, pentru că dacă veți intra doar câteva secunde sau un minuțel, nu o să vă ajute la mare lucru. De asemenea, vă amintesc că pe acest canal găsiți lecții de limba română și lecții de limba engleză pentru fiecare clasă, rubricile pentru tine, doamna mea, povești pentru copilaj, drăgălași și din înțelepciunea lumii. Și după ce începe școala veți găsi toate lecțiile de limba română și limba engleză împreună cu toate exercițiile aferente pentru toate clasele de la 1 până la 12 din toate manualele pe care se învață la școală. Prin urmare, o să vă fie de mare folos că în loc să plătiți meditații, puteți să lucrați aici exercițiile. Numărul meu de telefon este 0773889705. Pentru că acest canal este gratuit, vă rog să vă abonați ca să poată să rămână gratuit în continuare, să rămână în continuare ca și până acum. Lecția noastră de astăzi este aceasta. Da? Vă rog, dragii mei, să faceți captură de ecran ca să aveți exercițiile în fața ochișorilor, să le putem lucra. Gata? Bun. Relatives. A doctor is a person who treats sick people. Dogs are animals which we can keep as pets. This is a couple whose favorite winter sport is skiing. Relative pronouns who, which, whose, that introduce relative clauses. We use relative clauses to identify the noun in the main clause. Example: the man who owns the shop is French. Who owns the shop is a relative clause. The relative clause identifies which man we are talking about. We use who or that instead of subject pronoun I, you, he, etc. to refer to people. The girl or she lives next door is from India. The girl who lives next door is from India. We use which or that to refer to objects or animals. The horse it won the race is black. The horse that won the race is black. We use whose instead of possessive adjectives, my, your, his, etc. with people, objects, and animals in order to show possession. That's the man, his car was stolen. That's the man whose car was stolen. That's the bag, its strap is broken. That's the bag whose strap is broken. For people, we can use who or that. For things and animals, we use which or that. And for possession, we use whose. Exercise number 1. Look at the pictures and the prompts below and ask and answer questions as in the example. Who was Dickens? He was the man who wrote Oliver Twist. Who was Volta? He was the man who invented the electric battery. Who was Columbus? He was the man who discovered America. Who was von Zeppelin? He was the man who built the first airship. Who were the Kellogg's? They were the men who made the first cornflakes. Who was Cleopatra? She was the woman who ruled Egypt. Exercise number 2. Look at the pictures and make sentences as in the example. A dishwasher is a machine which you use to wash dishes. A flamingo is a bird which lives in a warm climate. A lawn mower is a machine that cuts the grass. A typewriter is a machine that types letters. A lion is an animal that lives in the garden. A photocopier is a machine that makes photocopies. Exercise 3. Please copy this page. Captură de ecran, vă rog, ca să lucrăm și aceste exerciții. Well, so exercise 3. You have to match column A with column B to make correct sentences. Number 1 matches with letter D. The girl who lives next door is called Helen. Number 2 matches to A. Is this the puppy which you bought from the pet shop? Number 3 matches with the letter F. The doctors who work in this hospital are very good. Number 4 matches with letter B. The man whose wife had an accident lives next door. Number 5 matches with letter E. The country which I like most is Austria. Number 6 matches with letter G. The bicycle which I was riding belongs to my brother. Number 7 matches with the letter C. Is this the woman whose husband is a banker? Relative pronouns as subject or object. We do not omit the relative pronoun when it is the subject of the relative clause. That is, when there is not a noun or subject pronoun between the relative pronoun and the verb. Example, I meet a girl, she is from Japan. I met a girl who is from Japan. The relative pronoun is the subject. There is not another pronoun or noun between who and the verb is. We can omit the relative pronoun when it is the object of the relative clause. That is, when there is a noun or a subject pronoun between the relative pronoun and the verb. That's the hat. I bought it last week. That's the hat that I bought last week. The relative pronoun is the object. There is the subject pronoun 1, I, between which that and the verb bought. Exercise number 4. Fill in the correct relative pronoun. Then write S for subject, O for object. Finally state if the relatives can be omitted or not in the boxes provided. We will make the sentences completing the blanks. The cup which I bought is broken. How old is the boy who hit you? Have you used the gloves that I bought you yet? Laura is talking to the man who repaired her car. Did you return the books that you borrowed from the library? They live in a big house which is in the countryside. I'm writing a letter to my aunt who lives in Australia. Is he the man who lives on the farm? Is that the film that we saw last week? Is that the man who stole your bag? Where did you buy the dress that you are wearing yesterday? That you were wearing yesterday? Have you replied to all the letters which you received? Whose means who is or who has. Whose, who is there, it's Julie. Whose, who has got the dictionary. Whose, possessive. Jenny is the girl whose mother is a lawyer. Fill in who is or whose. Whose scris who apostrof s, care înseamnă who is sau who has, și whose scris legat. That's the boy who's going to sell me his bike. Who apostroph s. His brother, whose name is Jack, is a fireman. Whose, scris într-un cuvânt. She's the girl who's run for marathon. Who ran, nu whose. She is the girl who ran for marathons last year. That's the man whose house was on fire yesterday. Whose se scrie legat. Sheila is the girl whose mother works in the flower shop. Whose se scrie legat. She is the woman who's having a party tomorrow. Who apostroph s, who is having. He's the man who has just been promoted at work. Mike is the man whose wife is in hospital. Whose se scrie legat. I'm the person whose sister got married last week. Whose se scrie legat. Rob is the one who has eaten all the biscuits. Dragii mei, mulțumesc pentru participare. Asta a fost lecția noastră de astăzi și vă rog să vă abonați înainte de a închide. La revedere!